Hello, Neil here. In this video we're going to talk about what is DevOps processes and teams. Processes are the things that the team will run in order to keep themselves on track with the project. There are also processes that you can use to adopt DevOps. The teams is the team structure, and I'll describe a DevOps team. Let's get into it. What is DevOps? Processes and teams. To enable these ideas to propagate, a number of tools and processes have been created. Most create teamwork and collaboration and adaptability of the team. If you like what you see and hear, please like the video and subscribe to the channel to get future updates on the rest of this series. This video series is based on a book that's available on Amazon. In organizations with an agile culture, you'll come across 4 processes. Iterative. This process revolves around small, iterative, and tiny steps. Each iteration is time-boxed. Most you'll see 2 weeks, maybe as little as 1 day. This is enough time to get a feature deployed and tested, as well as writing it in the first place with a bit of design work. Sometimes a 2-week time box isn't long enough to get everything in the early stages of the project because of all of the plumbing and extra framework you need first. At a new startup, for instance, some of the startup tasks take a bit longer, but they only have to be done once, like the scaffolding for the code or the testing framework. On an established project, the tasks will be focused more on delivering features and might be shorter. Communication. In addition to the team discussing things amongst themselves, the product owner is the one that liaises with the rest of the business and guides the work that the team does. Communication outside of the team is not just limited to the product owner though, as collaboration and communication with other teams within the business can also yield fruits. Communication about the project is normally displayed on a public Kanban board. In the olden days, when we used to work in offices, this would quite literally be a big board with sticky cards or post-it notes on it. These days it tends to be collaborative software, where everyone can log in and look at the board if they want to. It's imperative for the team members to look at the board so they know what they're doing. Should the team have outside dependencies, then bringing those dependencies in the team can help collaboration and speed up workflow. Pairing on tasks with people that are outside the normal team, in fact, helps communication about your project to the rest of the business too. Adaptation. During the project, most teams will have a daily scrum. This is where the team members will describe what they're about to do for today, as well as describe what they hope to achieve by the end of the day. By sharing what everyone is doing daily, this helps create a fast feedback cycle to the rest of the team members. Firstly, so that you don't step on each other's toes, and secondly, so that you can spread the knowledge and maybe get that leg up from another team member that you wouldn't otherwise get. This sharing of information and cooperation enhances the speed at which the project can be delivered. Quality. Having adequate testing in a project cannot be stated enough. Keeping the level of quality up will ensure that when the product is delivered, it's working as expected. Having automated tests will help. By having pipelines and testing, we know that everything's still conforming to the description we had at the start. Tie this together with pair programming, and this helps enhance quality. During iterative development, design is still very much part of the process, sometimes just enough to get that feature out. But other considerations can be taken on board for a longer term view. This is usually to help reduce costs in the long term or avoid technical debt. The main drawback of Agile is that it doesn't engage with the ops team early enough. DevOps processes and DevOps mindset is the thing that helps bring these two together. DevOps emphasizes the collaboration between teams so that everyone knows what everyone else is doing and we can work together on a common goal. DevOps is a working culture where we can deliver results through building and testing and deploying rapidly. There are several key voices in the DevOps movement, Damon Edwards, John Willis, and Jez Humble being three. They coined the acronym CALMS. Culture. This is closely linked to behaviours. It's how the team operates and holds themselves up to a high level of standards. Automation. Removing boring, laborious tasks by automating them. Not only does this help reduce manual work, it also helps reduce errors, freeing up the more creative side of your staff. Lean. This is a nod to the Japanese methods of continuous improvement and reducing waste. This means focusing activities on creating value, including the planning stages. Plan just enough to deliver the value. You don't necessarily need to plan more than that. Measurement. This is where we can measure key performance indicators to understand where we're going and why we're doing things. It also encompasses scale and waste and helps continuous improvement by analysing what went wrong and how we can do better. And sharing. It's key that we share what we've learned and what we didn't learn so that the next iteration can be better. Gene Kim has continued this research and has written several books on the subject. And a book I can personally recommend is The Phoenix Project. It's a story of a manager dropped into a senior IT position where they're struggling with scale and other issues. It shows an example of how DevOps can be embedded into an organization to help things like continuous improvement, quality, and testing. And there we have it. Talked about what is DevOps, processes and teams. We spoke around iterative, communication, adaptable and quality, and CALMS. In the next episode, we'll continue this by talking about the teams and the team members. Subscribe to get notified of when that gets published, and I'll see you soon.